Bertie, we got us a Patreon review today for Flash Gordon, my man. First time
Brad,
watch.
I love Flash Gordon, and I love this selection, but we only have 14 minutes to get this done, so let's get started.
Ah, see what you did there. What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man is right over there. Today we're coming at you with a Patreon review. Flash Gordon from 1980. This one was selected by the Slaughtered Lamb. Specifically, Darren is the one that picked it and told us that we need to check this out. And this is a first-time watch for both Birdie and myself. I know this is a movie that's loved by many, Birdie. A lot of people grew up watching this thing all across the world, and we're just now getting introduced to it in 2024.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And just let our future Patreons or YouTube members know that it doesn't have to be horror for when the wheel selects you to pick a review for us to do. It doesn't have to be horror. And I told Darren that, and Darren's like, oh, you got to do Flash Gordon. So here we are, man. But, man, I actually heard about Flash Gordon in a little movie called Ted. Do you remember Ted?
I remember Ted.
Yeah, that's where I freaking learned, because Johnny and Ted love Flash Gordon.
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie, if you haven't seen it, it's about this dude, Flash Gordon. That's his name. Big surprise there.
Jets quarterback.
He's the Jets quarterback, and he gets, he's basically fucking on this airplane, and this dude from outer space, Mean, comes in and tries to take over the world, destroy the planet or whatever. And Flash gets himself in a situation where he has to basically save the world from the tyranny that is of Ming. So that's kind of the story. They go off to space, they go out there, and they freaking across the universe or whatever, like you said, run into this whole other civilization. Weird as hell, Birdie. I got to tell you, it was weird as hell. Very strange. The movie was made in 1980. To me, it felt like I was watching Wizard of Oz. I thought it was like 1928 is what I would have guessed for the time, because the effects were all, and I know it was probably designed to be like really cheesy, and that's probably exactly like, at least I hope it was, and that's probably what they were going for. But dude, with the effects and stuff, it feels like it was made way beyond like 1980 even.
Now, Brad, there's a saying where Star Wars was just an experiment, but Flash Gordon is the masterpiece. Nah, I'm just kidding. But like, dude, I'll tell you this. Do you remember the prison room where Flash Gordon was in there, and you see behind the cell are these snake people with those rubbery masks on their face?
Oh yeah, I
was like, 100%. What the hell are we doing? like you can obviously tell that they did possibly have a high budget, even though they had a lot of things going on, though, which I say some of it looked fine, and others were like, whoa. Like, what are we doing?
Well, it felt like Monty Python in space. Like, we've seen Jason go to space. This felt like Monty Python was going to space. And that's kind of the vibe I got from it. Like, it seemed like it was like intentional, but at the same time, it was like, would you really intentionally put that in there? Like, it was just weird. That being said, though, I did like how unique it felt. Like, it was a unique kind of world with unique creatures. As goofy as it was, man, it gets into some crazy shit. We got freaking sex slaves and shit in here, and in all kinds of crazy
telepathic
stuff. Yeah, telepathic, communication, all kinds of crazy stuff for it being such a goofy movie. But yeah, I mean, I gotta say, one of my favorite things about it was Timothy Dalton coming in off the heels of his Bond run and taking over this world.
Holy shit, that was Timothy Dalton. I knew I recognized him from somewhere.
Yeah, he was great. I actually liked seeing him a lot, because I really haven't seen him in really much of anything other than Bond. And I think he was in like Hot Fuzz. And that, I mean, to me, really, that might be the only things I've seen him in. So it was cool to see him in another role, especially in his prime. And I thought he was cool. Like, they had that epic like Duke session on that platform with his spikes and shit coming up. That was crazy, man. I didn't see the spikes coming. That really got me. So
we got spikes, we got freaking whips, and we got corny dialogue. Flash, I love you, but we only have 10 hours to save the Earth.
Those whip effects, I think we could have pulled that off in our skit last year with Michael Myers.
I'm so terrified for a Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Dude, we could do it. Hey, we could put those same effects into the Nightmares thing. That was epic. You had that epic scene where he starts playing. He's got that egg looking thing, and he's like throwing it like a football at everybody, and like taking them all out.
And the freaking scientist throws it right back at him, hits him right in the fucking head.
knocks him out cold. It did have some moments like that were like, you know, pretty funny. Then you had the dudes like with the wings and shit that were flapping around. That's where I was like, this is like damn Wizard of Oz out here, man.
Oh, dude, the freaking the flying baboons. No, nah, man, but no, all that. It's just it's like you best said. This movie just has a uniqueness about it that you can't help but to really like be gravitated towards. Like you want to see how like the rest of the movie plays out, or what even like what more silly thing can they do right after the ever silly thing that they did. But I gotta ask one thing: is there a way I could be the apprentice of Flash Gordon so I can woo girls over just as easily that he did? He took this complete stranger of a woman, beautiful. Her name was Dell in the movie. Took this beautiful woman in like 15 minutes. She's already all open arms about him. Like, how the hell can he woo somebody that hard and so quickly?
Hey, when you're the quarterback of the New York freaking Jets, Birdie, you can do anything you want to do except for win a football game. But I will say that, you know, aside from Timothy Dalton being in there, the Queen song kicked ass. That was the one thing that was like,
dude,
this
that's
is
what saves the entire movie is Flash.
Yeah.
Savior of the universe.
It reminded me of the Nightman. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Dayman. Oh, fighter of the night, man. It was very similar. It was weird. Max von Sydow coming in, being the mean character. I didn't know if he was supposed to be Asian. That felt like it was a little bit weird because, you know, he has the name Ming and he kind of looked like an Asian.
Dude, it's all part of the charm.
But is Max Vaughn, this is the dude from The Exorcist, Birdie. Like the father from Father Karras, or the other father, the older one.
Okay. Yeah, so like the only other nice thing I can really say about this movie that I really enjoyed was like the costume design. Like when it actually works, like the gold dude, like with his mask and everything, I thought he looked really cool. I thought the chick with like wearing the black and gold, I thought she was pretty cool. And like all the outfits that Flash was wearing, I thought were pretty cool. So like the costume design really did a good job. Like when they actually put seriousness into the costume design, unlike those freaking rubber mask snake people, I could just tell it's like, shh, damn it, we forgot about these people. What are we going to do? Go to Dollar General, see if they have a mask. I found this mask. No, not that William Shatner mask. The other mask. Oh, okay, we'll go with this other one. So, like, overall, it's like I would say 80 to 20% on the costume design being really good.
Yeah, some of the stuff was cool. The metal dude was scary. He was, you know, and then you had the mind sucker machine. That was kind of cool. I think in general is a little bit just too corny for me. Like I'm not usually a person that likes like the parody. Not that this is a parody per se, but it kind of feels like one, or like a spoof film. You know, it felt just a few shades, you know, south of like Spaceballs. Like I said, it did feel like Monty Python to me. I've never been a huge fan of those kinds of movies. You know, I from time to time I'll be in the mood to watch one.
Brad,
other than me, I know. I do say that sometimes. But
no,
you know,
they're the Nazis say taka taka to. Taka taka to ni. But no, I get it, man. Like, this film is not going to be for everybody, so if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you have like an appreciation for some good corny like comedy, it has this uniqueness about it that I appreciate it, and I can I could play this on again and still have a good time with it. Let's go with a rating here. I'm going to give it just a solid 3 out of 5. A lot of parts I like about this movie, and then there's a lot of parts I like, whoa, what's going on here? What the fuck?
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 as well. I appreciate, we know what they were trying to do. It's just not really it's not my speed all that much, but I'm glad we finally saw it. I'm glad we finally got around to it. And I'm glad now I know it has nothing to do with Flash from DC. So we got that squared away.
Did it take you this long?
It did. I always thought that was just Flash's last name, and it was cool. He was just going back to, you know, throwing it back whenever he took the name off.
Darren, I apologize for this person right here. So we're just going to do everybody a favor. We got ended at that note. So I got to ask you guys, what did you all think about Flash Gordon? Do you really think this is a good time of a film, or do you really not enjoy this film? Let us know in the comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling. And Darren from the Slaughter Lamb, thank you so much again for an excellent pick.
Yeah, it was. Even though it wasn't 100% my thing, again, I'm glad I saw it. So thanks for picking it. It was a good choice. And if you guys want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us at all of our links right down below. There's a Spreadshot t-shirt shop down there now, so go down there and check that out. We'll have more updates coming soon, but it's down there. Check her out.
With that, my friend, we're going to go ahead and get out of here before the time runs out and the review has to end. So we will see you all later. Now I got to go play some Madden and do a My Career mode with Flash Gordon. Flash.
Oh! Fighter of the night, man. Dude, it rolls. It rolls. No!